Hi, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's been a little while since we've recorded anything because we moved.
New house.
It's our first episode in our new house, so it's very exciting. And today we wanted to start off with a bang, bringing it back with a bang. We're going to be talking about pornography. Porn.
Rhymes with corn.
Corny. I don't think porny is a word, but corny is. I don't think it's possible to avoid this topic if we're going to be, discussing monogamous relationships. And
honestly, if we're going to discuss it.
Exactly.
Honestly, because there's a lot of ways to ignore it.
Yeah, that's true. We can talk about that, but...
we know who you are.
No, we don't.
I'm being aggressive.
But yeah, I think we have to discuss this topic because, monogamous relationships and our, building trust in this fast-paced digital world, let's be real, like porn is everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's very accessible, right?
You can watch it anytime.
Anytime, anywhere. I mean, just one click
anything
of your phone and boom, you got some stuff in your face.
It's exciting and arousing, but also a little sad. Like the adventure of being a 13-year-old boy and seeing boobs, it's gone. Like I heard that someone had a picture, and then we had to take our bikes and ride around, and then there was a shed, and we all made a pact that no one was gonna steal the picture, and it stayed in a chest for all of us.
A chest?
It was a little chest. And someone had a pog maker. Do you remember pogs?
Yes.
Like the
flippy things?
Yeah. So we cut out pictures of Victoria's Secret, ads and stuff, and all of our pogs had, bras and stuff. But the one with the exposed nipple was, the hottest commodity.
I don't really know if as a young girl, I guess, movies sometimes. I really liked MacGyver, too. I thought he was hot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had material though as a young girl. But that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
Just wiener pogs.
Pogs with us, John.
Yeah.
So I think that we're talking about trust and building long-lasting relationships in this world. Yeah, porn. So porn, came about and I feel took over, kind of entered the world in 1997. The internet.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is a fact. So I did a little research. I went
so it
on
took
to
over
porn.
The world.
I went on to Pornhub itself, and and around 1997 is when the internet started to kind of seep into the internet.
Okay.
And if you think about it, that's really not that long ago.
No.
I mean, really, it's a blip.
I wonder how long it was from the conception of the internet and people having it to someone going, we're putting porn on it.
Probably not very long. But I think it became prevalent around 1997.
Yeah.
And I mean, geez, that's 20
Windows
years and some change.
98 was that year, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when everyone gave you the AOL disc and you it was 7 websites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How old were you in 1997?
12.
Did you access porn at that age?
No.
What age were you as a boy?
I think my dad showed it to me, which wasn't great. I don't think. He just assumed that I was gonna watch it all the time because that's what he did, I guess. But Playmate, VHS tapes were a thing, and I remember my grandfather had some, and they were he thought he was putting up really high because he's 5'2", but I was 5'2" when I was 7. So there was a few of those.
John's
but
a tall guy.
Anyway, this was after what I'm talking about. My dad had a Jenny McCarthy, remember? Yeah. The dating show or whatever she's on.
Oh my God, what was the name of that dating show that she did?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick was on it too.
Yeah, I remember it.
Singled
I loved
Out?
it. Singled Out.
Yeah. But she had a Playboy, Playmate video, just her dancing naked, and then water and slow-mo, and it was that for 30 minutes. And my dad came downstairs when I was watching TV and just like put it in. And I was like,
You were like 12?
I don't know, maybe a little bit younger than that. I don't know.
Wow, that's
I was
very
just in my
interesting.
underwear and I was like, this is odd. We watched the whole thing, and he didn't say a single word to me.
So bizarre.
And it was so weird.
Is this normal?
I
would
don't
love for
think so.
people in the audience to maybe let us know. I would love to know your first experience with pornography.
We would love. We are collecting data on it, so please let us know.
I feel like there's not a lot of research on pornography. I mean, there is if you look up how it affects your brain, and we can like get into some of that, but there's not a whole lot. First of all, because it hasn't been around, I guess, that long, right?
Right. Well, porn has been around.
Porn has been, yes, but it wasn't as accessible.
Yeah, no, there was the one movie.
This like
with
easy
the lips on the logo and.
Yeah, this like easy access.
Deep is what it's called.
Okay, yeah, I don't know anything about Deep, but yeah. Yeah, John might know more on this topic than me. I don't know, we'll get into it, but I don't remember what I was saying now. I just am imagining like Deep on a VHS.
Yeah. There's not a lot of data collected.
There's not a lot of data because of the stigma, that surrounds it, I feel like. Morally and ethically. Like, people get kind of heated about this topic. Some people think it's like cheating if you're in a monogamous relationship and you're watching porn.
Yeah.
Some people don't give a fuck if you watch porn.
Yeah.
Some people watch it together. And so I think it varies widely, but I do know that it can really, if it comes to trusting your partner in like this digital world, porn, I would say, sits pretty high on like the trigger scale. And I know with some of my like girlfriends and like family and stuff, some people are really bothered by it. And I've known like Christian couples specifically that I can think of where he had a real problem with it and she was like devastated by it. And it comes back to what we've been discussing, the entire time that we've done this podcast, which is just communication.
Yeah. And setting guidelines.
Yeah, like entering a contract, right? So
Yeah.
you're writing a contract and you're both agreeing to this said contract.
Yeah.
And I think it's best to just go ahead and be completely open and honest at the beginning of your relationship. Yeah. Like if you watch porn, you should say, I watch porn.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think early on when we were dating, you're like, what do you do today? I was like, tugged, watched porn. And you're like, oh. But it honestly, I just said it, and that was like part of my charm, I guess, or still is. But that's up for debate. But what it did was,
it's extra charming when you think you're charming.
You knew so many guys was like, don't watch it. It's such an obvious lie.
No,
I see my female friends and my friends' girlfriends. They're like, oh, really? It's like, he's lying.
Yeah. So let's talk about some more stats on this very topic. So stats released by Pornhub. So Pornhub, if you don't know, is like a mainstream porn site. Like you can type that in and it takes you straight there. Tons of content. Okay.
I think like 1 billion videos or something.
Well, so these stats were released by Pornhub. So apparently there are more websites than just Pornhub. I've learned about in my research. John, I think, knew about them, but I'm learning. X videos, bonga cams, X hamster, all of these sites plus Pornhub, they accumulate about 6 billion visits per month. So if you're sitting and talking to someone and they say they don't watch porn, I feel like that's incredible. Or they're lying.
Yeah.
I mean, really. And so, in 2017, Pornhub claims 28.5 billion total visits alone. That's a lot, I feel like, of clicks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Pornhub also states that they believe about 75% of their users are male, while about 25% are female.
It's not surprising.
I think that some of this data, though, is tricky because of that stigma that people might not be, I don't know, completely open or comfortable discussing whether or not they watch porn. Like, I watch porn. John watches porn. We actually watch porn together.
Yeah.
But so it's hard to say, you know what I mean? I thought that statistic was interesting. I would think more women than just 25%. Because I talk to, like, my friends, and, like, my friends watch porn.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, pretty much I can think of a lot of my girlfriends that watch porn.
Yeah. That's still a small
Yeah.
target audience. I mean, we're not hanging out with Paul the preacher or...
Well, does Paul the preacher watch
Nina the
porn
nun.
and then Nina the nun doesn't or something? Is that what you're saying?
I don't
That
know.
women are more pious if they are stating that they're pious, that they maintain that, you know,
Well, there's
holiness
the
or
whole...
something?
I've been told my whole life, in regards to the subject, that women are less visual than men. Like, it's more of a cerebral thing.
Yeah,
With
this
guys
is all...
are like, they want, like, you want to see it or whatever, and there's like the heightened
Yeah,
experience from seeing it instead of just thinking about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but porn does turn me on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
visual aid does, you know,
Yeah.
help.
Those yeah.
But for me personally,
Yeah. Well, you can also, I guess you can look at a market, and since porn is so, like, heavily male influenced, and it's, like, from the male perspective,
Yeah.
and doesn't always, like, do ladies a lot of justice. I mean, it makes women look great or whatever, but a lot of the times, like, things you see in porn are things that if you did to a woman without, like, letting her know, like, hey, I'm gonna shove this there, like, it's unexpected and usually unpleasant.
no, and I don't watch that shit. That I don't like,
Yeah.
and I don't condone, and I hope you don't watch either.
No, but
anything
even
that's
just,
like aggressive or violent,
yeah, I mean,
or
well,
like,
I hadn't even gotten there. I just mean, like,
Yeah.
in general, like, a lot of positions you see, it's like it's made to look better from the
a male perspective.
Yeah, I'm not even like not even anything
And-
aggressive. I'm like, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
forum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a huge topic, so we'll likely discuss
No pun
this
intended.
over a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But back to kind of some statistics about, like, who consumes or how much porn is actually consumed. So 67% of these views come from phones,
Yeah.
which makes
Not
sense.
surprising,
Not
yeah.
surprising, right? So that leads me to believe that, you know, maybe you're doing it in private, which I hope you are, because
Yeah.
you probably will get arrested otherwise. But, you know, that it's something that you're kind of doing alone, like on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and then there was another stat that 50%, it's surmised, 50% of all internet traffic is sexual,
Yeah.
which, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
So
if you
half the
loosely define
time someone's getting
sexuality-
on the internet, it has to do with sex.
Yeah. Well, I think if you loosen the constraint of that up a little bit, like,
Yeah, dating apps.
dating apps.
Totally.
if someone's clicking through something because it's a picture of a hot chick
Yeah.
or Aquaman, I don't know.
Who is Aquaman?
It's a doll.
No,
don't
I
know
mean,
his
who
name.
plays the
I don't know his name.
buff actor guy? I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that with porn, it can lead to a lot of dishonesty in relationships.
Yeah.
In my personal experience, in my past relationships, it was never, like, discussed. It was, I didn't like it, and, you know, in my last relationship, not my first one, but my last marriage, you know, it was that, oh God, I don't want to, like, disclose too much information, but some of the type of porn, like, that he said he wasn't watching and I would find was just very upsetting to me, and then it was like a lie all the time. No, I don't watch it. Okay, well, why?
I was downloading it
that's
for a
lie.
friend.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the internet.
It's like, it sucks to be lied to about that, you know, and that's where, you know, we just failed in that relationship where I was honest about what I didn't want, but he wasn't honest about what he, you know, did want.
Yeah.
And that sucks. But
Yeah.
in this relationship with you, with John, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but, like, I'm totally comfortable with it. And we watch it together, and, like, we don't watch it all the time, but we enjoy watching it together sometimes.
Yeah.
I have one kind of rule, which is that I prefer to pick it because it is so male driven, and it's like pretty much like all, the way a female looks in like a lot of porn. It makes me feel insecure if he is scrolling or whatever on the computer and he like picks a title or picks, a thumb, like a little thumbnail
Yeah.
of a girl, and then I start thinking in my head, well, why did he pick her? Like what he wants to have sex with her. He likes the way she looks more than me, and like all these thoughts like go racing through my head, and it brings up these like insecure feelings.
She does a really good job of picking, by the way. The only thing that drives me crazy is you refuse to hit the full screen option. And it's like, usually we're like in bed with like a phone or whatever, or like
this
a
is
tiny
getting
laptop.
very personal.
It's like,
Oh my
please,
God.
what kind of monster? With all like the ads and everything popping like everywhere else, and it's just like, oh, it's all in negative space.
Oh yeah, well, I'll keep that in
Like,
mind.
just hit.
Thank you for
Yeah,
revealing that now.
it's okay. No, it's a thing that comes up often. No pun intended again.
Yeah, and so in our relationship, it's actually, I feel like we've been successful at,
Yeah.
using porn
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
John tells me that he doesn't watch it on his own.
Yeah.
But maybe he does. I don't really know. But
Yeah.
but the best thing, I mean, I trust you.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Trust you.
I trust you. And even if you did, like, my only concern is that, he's not going to want to have sex with me. And
Yeah.
I like to have sex a lot.
Yeah.
So that would be my one concern. And there are plenty of, like, TED Talks that I've watched and things that, discuss, okay, so if you are using it as a visual, like, stimulation,
Yeah.
constantly, that the real thing becomes less sort
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
enticing. And boo, I mean...
Right.
Boo to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have a pretty healthy sexual appetite. Like, there's not really room for it.
Did you just say appetite?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Girls, too, statistically, you're listening.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, it hasn't affected our sex life. I think it's affected things in the past. I mean, how has porn been in other relationships that you've been in? What kind of role has it played for you?
There's never been rules before, and
You haven't discussed it?
I always talked about it.
Did girls get mad at you?
Not
Any of your
really.
past girlfriends?
Some did, but not really. I've never really been like a porn head or whatever you call it. Like
Is that a thing?
I mean, there's people that like it or whatever.
Yeah.
Enough. Like I have had things. I've had preferences, and I like names of actresses and actors and sites that I prefer, but that's just the way my brain works. It's like when I find something or I do something, I want to learn about it. But I've always known that it has the possibility to like really kind of ruin like the real thing.
Yeah.
And so even when I was like lonely and single, like I watched it more prior to you.
Yeah.
Definitely watched it a lot more in past relationships, but I still, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still like made sure to not become desensitized, because it's one of my
And I
favorite
don't
things. I
know-
don't want to ruin it
Sex?
with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
in general. It's good.
Yeah.
It can be good. If it's not for you, I'm sorry. Just keep looking and you'll find
Yeah.
find it. But
Sex
talking
before
to the
was always
audience.
like a thing to like make my ego feel better. It was a thing I sought after, but I wasn't pursuing sex because I wanted to have sex and I wanted to have a connection with someone. I just wanted to know that I could, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's very honest.
Yeah. With you is more of, I had the conquest aspect, but I had to consciously decide to not like indulge to the conquest aspect because I knew that you were weak and vulnerable when I met you, and I would
Well-
have way more then than you were now.
Yeah.
Not saying that you would have given in and would have like cheated and done things way earlier, but I knew that it would ruin us if like I pursued you in a conquistador-esque fashion, whatever you want to call it, like Ponce de Leon,
This is very interesting. I mean,
sailing the seas of Poon. Like,
Oh my god.
sorry. But it is an experience, and it's beautiful with you. And the reason it is so much so more, I think, is because, one, I'm incredibly attracted to you because you are super attractive. But we have like this layer of like spirituality where it's like it's only peeled back and as raw as it is because of all the honesty.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's been hard to be
communication.
honest,
Yes,
too.
it is hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
And with porn, for me, it really was a trigger in like my last relationship. So discussing it openly and honestly with you and like my true like desires, even though,
Yeah.
you know, we can get into this another time,
Yeah.
but might conflict with what I would
They're
really want to
juicy,
happen.
so you should listen to all the episodes, by the way.
Well, might conflict with what I actually want to happen in real life, you
Yeah.
know, like fantasy versus real
Yeah.
life. It was hard for like the first year, honestly, or maybe even into the
Longer,
second
yeah.
year of being completely vulnerable and honest about like those things.
Yeah.
And even like talking about porn being an option, just
Yeah.
because it was a trigger, because I was lied to about it,
Yeah.
you know, in the past.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he didn't want to upset me. And I'm sure that's happened in hundreds of thousands of relationships. You know, what she doesn't know won't hurt her, or vice
If
versa.
you're
What
not
he doesn't
upsetting-
know won't hurt him.
If you're not upsetting your partner, they're either lying to you about their feelings or they're cheating on you. And like, or you're
Well,
lying.
that's a very strong
It is a
statement.
very strong statement.
And we don't, we can't say that with full, like,
Yeah.
100%
I'll just edit that out.
validity.
I'm not gonna edit it out. It's staying there.
But no, I think you're right. I think that communication is hard.
Yeah.
And in a relationship, if you're not kind of sparring or like, you know, butting heads, then there could be someone who is just saying, yeah, to
Yeah, whatever.
placate.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't watch that.
Yeah.
And that works for some people. Like, who am I? I'm not gonna judge you if you don't really care to know, and you like, you know, I'm just the type of person, I think we both are. Like, I just want to know the truth. I want to talk it out. I want to, you know, duke it out. And it does. It sucks. It's hard. It's hard to talk about certain topics.
Yeah.
You know, and to really be honest about it.
Yeah.
But I think that you're right. I think that because we've been able to at least begin to do that, that intimacy feels so much like richer.
Yeah.
And I like trust you. Like, if we're watching porn, like, I feel completely secure. Like, and a lot of that just be like, I just feel more confident and secure, like more so than I have in my whole life. But yeah. Porn.
Porn?
Yeah, it's I don't really know a lot about the science about like how porn affects like your brain or whatever, but in one of the TED Talks called The Great Porn Experiment, it was kind of funny. Honestly, you should totally watch it or listen to it because it kind of made me chuckle several times throughout it. But he talks about the internet addiction and like for men, like men's ancient brains aren't prepared for like the constant surge of, quote, hot novel babes.
Oh yeah. I saw that talk.
And it creates like that click mentality, and a lot of people and articles have been released about like the dopamine surge and is that an addiction, which they say it is not, and porn is not officially recognized as an addiction as
Really?
of right now. Yeah.
Huh.
Because addiction is, you know, commonly, you know, it requires a substance. So like ingesting a substance.
Yeah.
But they've broadened the term addiction to include like behaviors.
Well, sexual addiction
and
is considered a
things.
real.
But pornography is not necessarily, from what I was just researching. Now I
Okay.
could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, sexual addiction, of course. Like if you're a sex addict, like where you have to have sex every day with like strangers or something, or like you're constantly, you know, doing whatever to entertain yourself. Like, yeah, that's something different than a pornography addiction.
Yeah.
So. But I think that it is interesting, and I would like to learn more about how it does affect just your brain chemistry. And with that neurotransmitter, dopamine, like how, you know, if you're constantly getting that surge, what that's doing to you, you know?
Yeah.
Because and one of the reasons I feel like I can trust you, John, is because I've seen you exhibit pretty decent willpower. And I don't think that's the case with everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think that you know,
And
every man is like, oh, I better not watch too much porn because this is going to affect my
Yeah.
sexual relationship with
Yeah.
my wife
Yeah.
or my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't think there are a lot of men, honestly, that think that way.
Yeah, and I want to just to be clear, when you say that I've exerted self-control, that doesn't mean that I have not fucked up, because I have a lot, and especially like when it comes to consuming something, I've definitely gone too far, and that's from having that happen so many times in my life, like eating, porn, drugs, whatever it is.
Yeah, alcohol.
Anger, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe why, though, maybe because you have experienced going to the extreme with some things,
Yeah.
that you are capable of recognizing
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
and exhibiting willpower.
It's, I mean, you have to, or it's either that or die or go be a monk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think porn has its place, and you know, some people are afraid of it, and some people don't care at all. They're like, whatever. And we are, I feel like, probably entering an age of like where it's like, who cares? Because it's literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Like our kids are going to be able to just like find it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have, not even our generation. It's like our kids' generation will be like the first.
Yeah.
You know, or just maybe the most recent like teens that you're able to just get on your phone and like literally find something.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. And not that, you know, well, back in my day, I don't want to be like one of those old people, you know, but because we're always constantly evolving and changing, but it is just, I'm very curious to know how it will affect just relationships and just humans in general, because it's like a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
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 So, but it's a huge topic, and we definitely, there's plenty to discuss.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah. If you've listened to this and find it useful or hate us, hate mail is cool too. I mean, it's attention, right? No.
John's a contrarian, so he loves anyone bringing on.
But if there's something that you want to know that we didn't cover, or something we said that you would like to go more in depth with, we'd love to have a conversation with you about it, and maybe on here talk about it. But on Instagram, Trust Me Podcast, and then Facebook. Those are two good places to get a hold of us. Direct message us, and
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I would love some feedback. I would love to know if there's something that someone has had an issue with, or questions, or their own personal experiences.
Yeah,
so.
I want to say trustmepodcast@gmail is the email, so you can send us an email too. If that doesn't work, my phone number is just joking.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
And thanks for watching.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Or speak at you. See you, hear you.
Yeah, in the meantime, enjoy your...
Enjoy your porn.
Enjoy your
Watch
porn.
it responsibly. Don't lie about it.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're a goober.
I think the light is significantly brighter on me.
I couldn't see the time.
Yeah, we're at like 20 minutes.
28 minutes.